Final question for you. I think the Republican Party in general is just a victim of Stockholm Syndrome. I think that they're a group of hostages that have a gun to their head, and the gun is the media and Hollywood and all the rest, and the bullet in the gun is you're a racist. And if you don't keep your head down and let us have what we want, we're going to pull this trigger, we're going to call you a racist. And because most people aren't racist, in fact, virtually none of them are, so that's not something you want to be charged with. So when you're talking about these issues, you got to be fearless. I think that's what my strategy has always been. If I know something to be true, then I will be fearless about that aspect of the truth. And the Democrats have been horrible for Black Americans. But I wanted to talk to you about this because I think this may have been the greatest tragedy in American history. I don't know how much of this you're familiar with, but after the Civil War, there were basically two different schools of thought, both by Black philosophers and civics leaders, about where the Black community was going to go after slavery. And one of these guys was Booker T. Washington. Booker T. Washington's attitude was, look, we have to enter society as equals. That means we may have to go back to the farms. We may have to go back to the very plantations we were on as working people. And by working people, we'll save our money and we'll start to get a little bit together. And our sons will be mechanics and then their sons will be doctors. And he basically was saying that you cannot demand respect. You have to earn it. And his entire attitude was about making the Black community as self-sufficient and as self-respecting as possible. Now, arguing against him at the same time was W.E.B. Du Bois, who basically said, no, the thing we need to do is we need to go to white America. We need to have them give us stuff. And this is his term, not my term. And he said, we, the talented 10th, will distribute this largesse out throughout the Black community. And that's the way we come up. And the country made a decision, and they decided to go with W.E.B. Du Bois. But Booker T. Washington at the Tuskegee Institute, his college students had a higher grade point average than white college students. He had a higher legitimacy rate than white students. By demanding excellence from them, he produced excellence. And the Tuskegee Airmen never lost a bomber. The only fighter squadron in the war to have a perfect record of escorting bombers home. So it seems to me like we've just taken this horrible wrong path. And I think if people knew more about the background of it, they would probably think about things differently.
Yeah, so my parents are immigrants. My mom my mom and dad are both from Nigeria, and they came over here to have the American dream, to make sure that their kids pursued a good education and got a good job and got a good career, not just a job, and was able to continue that cycle. So they definitely understand what it means to earn your success, and because they didn't think that Americans or America in general would just give them success. They had to earn it, and that's it. And that's how I grew up. And that's the fact, is that you have to earn your keep. You have to earn your success. You're not supposed to come here and think that America's just going to hand you something. And I think particularly immigrants understand that very well. Especially the ones that come over here, that leave their country and come over here the right way. So
they're the best Americans in the country, the ones that have just left everything to come over here to start again and to work hard. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, no, it's fine. Just to say that, just like you were saying in that story, is that that's absolutely an example. And that's why I think a lot of people, particularly immigrants, have the same conservative values because of that, because they understand what it means to earn your keep and earn your success, not for other people to give it to you, because that's not how the world works.
Yeah, that's right. You can't demand respect. You have to earn it.
Yeah.
Well, you were saying a minute ago about, being on the teams and being around the kind of people that you want to be around, and individuals. I just want to tell you in all sincerity, from the moment I first worked with you on that show out in at CPAC in the NRA booth, I can't tell you how much I admire you, your moral courage, your background, the degree of information you have, and to go out there every day and suffer these slings and arrows is a sign of unbelievable character at a very early age. And I suspect that in 10 or 15 years, I'm going to be working for you some way or another. You're going to be.
You're sweet. Thank you. Thank you so much. I admire you as well.
Thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me. Bye.
Well, that's Antonia Okafor, one of the most remarkable people I have ever met. And you really need to be in a college campus, and you really need to experience the hostility that comes to you from that to understand the kind of courage and the kind of dedication to freedom that this young woman has. I go to college for 2 hours every month or 2 months, and while I'm there, I'm, shields up, armored up. This young lady lives with it every day, and she's absolutely incredible, and I just couldn't ask for a better guest for our first Backstage show. So that's Backstage with Bill Whittle with our guest Antonia Okafor. She's a big gun rights advocate, and she's at, is it AntoniaOkafor.com? AntoniaOkafor.com. You're going to be seeing a lot more of this young lady. She's absolute dynamite, and I'm very proud to have her on the show. So that'll do it for this edition, and we'll have somebody fascinating next time. Somebody. Anyway, maybe we'll just put Carla on, and we'll just talk about the backstage here. But anyway, thank you very much for joining us. It's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to talk to some of these people, and we will see you next time.